Ready? Anytime? Okay. Hello, I'm Nathan Kling. We dairy farm organically near Taylor, Wisconsin. Milk about 250 cows. Rotationally graze them on about 270 acres of pasture on this farm currently here. I farm with my wife and kids and several employees here on the farm. We started grazing here in 2001. Basically, we had taken about 60 acres of hayfield and started dividing it with poly wire the first year just to get a feel for it and see how it would work for us. And then the following year, we did a bunch of permanent fencing and did some installed some lanes and some water lines for the cows on pasture so we could do the grazing a little more intensively. My parents had grazed in the mid-90s, also had worked for Tom and Bill Waldera for a summer during college on their farm doing some rotational grazing and stuff as well. So we've been grazing, I think this will be our 20th year here now and stuff. So we started with about 90 cows and we're currently up to about 270 cows that we graze, plus all the young stock. And then we have another farm where we raise heifers with about 40 acres of pasture that we divide up also. So, some things we've learned over the years of grazing here is the more cows you have, it's very important to have a good lane to get those cows to and from the parlor twice a day. Some of our ground is pretty flat and poorly drained, created a lot of mud issues the first couple years. So with that, we've done several improved lanes. The first one we did was a 4-foot concrete walkway about 1,500 feet long. That helped significantly with that area. We've also worked with NRCS on some projects to build some lanes, which are basically big, well-built driveways using a mesh with some breaker rock and different layers of stone on top of it, down to like lime screenings on top. As long as they're high and dry, they work well for us and stuff. They do take maintenance. The other thing we've done is when we start out, we start with poly wire the first year to see how the breaks will work in the area, and then we also, the second year, we generally put in permanent fences. Most of our pastures are broken to anywhere from 5 to 10 acre paddocks that we can break further with poly wire, depending on the growth of the grass and what we have for animal units on that land and stuff for the time. Another thing we've done is we have water access on all the pastures here. Some of the original watering capabilities were seasonal with a 1-inch plastic line run on top of the ground with spigots in every pasture. Since then, a few years ago, we've put in a couple of year-round waters. They're electric heated waters in the areas where we outwinter our heifers. Bred heifers are all outwintered in certain areas where there's windbreaks, and then they have access to water that doesn't freeze in the wintertime and stuff too. So I guess I like to keep things simple and easy, so we spend the money up front and set it up right so it's simple and easy, I guess. So for our fencing here on the farm, we have about 60 acres across the road, and there's about 240 here minus the building site. It's all fenced. Our perimeter fences, we replaced them all with 5-strand 5-strand barbed wire fence as a perimeter fence. And then interior fences are all either 1 or 3-strand high tensile wire. The inside wires are all electrified as well, and they help. It's easier to put that wire up. We did the barbed wire on the perimeter because some of those areas don't get grazed early in the summer, and the weed pressure was going to be an issue with them. So that way it allowed us to have a little more flexibility with it. It's also a good legal fence, and good fences make good neighbors, I guess, and stuff. So with that,
talk about your detector. It's not a detector.
Oh yeah, we have fence testers that we have a big fence charger because we have a lot of miles of fence here. We need to maintain about 3,000 volts in order to keep the animals contained. This one will put out about 9 to 10,000 volts. So we have a portable tester. We can go anywhere on the farm, hold it against the fence, and it'll tell us what the readout is. We also have an indicator in the yard here that will tell us if the fencer's shut off or not working properly.
And it's just important you can see that from the house, right?
Yeah, we can see that from as we're walking from the barn to the house. It's easy to see, and we don't like to chase cows any more than anybody else does, so we keep just try to keep a good fencer and maintain the fences to keep the animal.
What would you give for beginning, how do you guys work together on the farm?
Just get chores done, I guess. I don't know.
Are you involved with the grazing?
From time to
A little
time,
bit,
I am.
yeah.
I mean, if I'm filling in for somebody as far as chores go, then I'll be getting cows or moving fences.
Okay, then let's slice in here how often you move the herd. Is it a 12 hour? Is it 24 hours? Do you have different rotations for your heifers than your dry cows
Sure.
than your milk cows?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So, this is my wife, Karen. She farms with us here on the farm as well. Helps with moving the animals around the pastures from time to time as we need and stuff also. Anything you want to add? Or?
How often do you move the cows?
Well, I don't know. It depends. I
Yeah.
don't know how that is.
Generally, cows are moved twice a day. Every milking, they get new grass. Dry cows are moved daily, and then our heifers, there's two groups of heifers. They would be moved either anywhere from 1 to 3 days, depending on the size of the area they're in and stuff. But generally, everything is moved on average every 12 hours to 3 days at the very most and stuff. So.
And now, how has grazing, I guess, helped you, A, stay in farming, and B, have time to do stuff? Is it a cost saver?
Yeah, there's definitely a cost savings to grazing. I mean, we're harvesting 270 acres of cropland that's in pasture as a crop. It saves us lots of trips over it with very expensive equipment, labor that's not readily available, and fuel that can be expensive, I guess, and stuff.
And does it give you any family time?
I guess it probably does give more, because the more you're out in the field with a machine, seems like the more time you take away. But definitely the kids get involved with moving cows, and there's nothing better than having your kids out there with the cows, moving them around and being out in nature, and the way it was when we were kids too. So
Being on the farm. Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Yep.